Hi everyone, welcome to Mail Something Pretty. I am Christine Josti and I wanted to show you these sweet, cute bee cards. I'm very happy, partly because they're on my own designs. Sometimes I take other people's designs and tweak them, but these are my own, so I'm very happy. And I'm going to show you a couple little tricks with this, particularly how I did that stripe. And then how I did the words. So this is a club project for those who are putting them together. I hope you like them. Okay, so let's start with how I did the stripe. Is I cut strips of paper a 1/2 inch wide, and I cut them the same size as my base. And so I just glued them, as the stripes to look like that. And then I took my paper trimmer, and you can see the edges aren't perfectly aligned. So I just kind of cut off a little bit of the edge to make it look crisper. And then you can make your width as wide or as narrow as you want. I happen to do mine at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to cut them. So you get a few on, like from each stripe. I think I get 3 on this one. You can make, I didn't cut that one so good. There we go. There's a few layers with the glue. If I was smart, I would have made my base paper slightly little wider because I lose out on this one, but I can always cut that and make it for another project. I'll just use a skinnier one. So what I did was the size I made, that piece I just cut, I made it the same size as this layer, which is 3 3/4 by 5. So I should have just made it a little bit wider, but that's okay. So I get 4 of the size I want, and then a little skinny one. So I could even put the skin. Oh, actually that would look cute. Maybe I'll do that. I can put the skinny one on the inside. Okay, and the colors I used, in case you're curious, and it doesn't matter which side you use, I used 5 colors. So I used Bumblebee, or you could use Crushed Curry, they're really close. Daffodil Delight, Very Vanilla, Smoky Slate, and So Saffron. And then I just repeated them. All right, I think we're done with the cutter. So I just have a regular card base. This is Very Vanilla. And then I already showed you this. This is, like I said, 3 3/4 by 5. And I already embossed it with the Hive. It's in the January through June mini catalog. I love this, and it's carrying over, so I'm very excited because it's a fun texture. And hopefully you can see a little closer. I use both sides. So this one I use kind of like the concave, and this one I use the convex. I think I said them right. The bumpy side or the shallow side. So both look really good. So you can use either one. For when you're putting them down, because there's a lot of texture, you want a good glue or a lot of adhesive because of all those bumps and ridges. So this multi-purpose liquid glue works really well. All right, so I'm just going to put that on here. Center it on. And then I'm going to put down my little pattern I made. And I glued that, I didn't tell you. I just use Whisper White just as a base. Oops. Oh, no, I got glue on my table. I should have used my mat. Okay, again, you want a good glue because of all those bumps. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. I think it even looks pretty kind of plain. So now, let me show you what I did. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I forgot something. Okay, I'm just going to shut this off, but I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot my strips of paper to stamp on. So the stamp sets, I'm using 2 stamp sets. So for the words, let me put these back. the happy and the day, I'm using the Biggest Wish. Using happy, and then I'm using part of birthday. And I'm going to show you what I did. So I chose to use basic gray for my colors. So this is just on very vanilla. And then birthday. I don't even really need the whole word of birthday. Let those dry for a second. And actually, while the ink is out, let's see, should have read a bigger piece. The bees are from the Honey Bee Home stamp set. So there's 3 bees. This is also carrying over. I forgot to look to see if Biggest Wish was carrying over. I think it is, but I'm not 100%. I forgot to look. But it is in the annual catalog now. All right, so here are my bees. And that was still with basic gray. And then how I got a little yellow on the bees, and so I used my sponge dauber, and it's labeled Bumblebee, so I know what color it is. And these are, someone asked me, these are washable. Just with soap and water you can wash them off. So they may stain a little bit, but they're washable. So I'm just going to kind of dab a little bit of the bee's bottom just to get a little yellow. I'm going to do a little bit more on this one. Okay, and then that goes along with this are the dies. So I have the 3B dies that I'll use to cut these out. I already cut them out for the sake of the video, but also in these die sets are some flowers. So there's 2 that outline these 2 flowers, and then there's some that are standalone, which is really nice. There's also outline for this one too. All right, so I already cut out the bees like that, and we'll decide which ones we're going to use. Oops. We use all of them or some of them. But what I really wanted to show you was how I did the words. So I actually already cut out happy. You can kind of see I just followed along. You know, I left a little border and I just cut it. But for the birthday, I'm going to start. So because the words are stamped on vanilla and they're going on a vanilla background, you have a little bit of forgiveness. So you're going to see, like, I cut this D pretty close because I didn't want you to see the rest of the words. But it doesn't matter that there's no border along this edge because we already have the same color. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to flip it over. So I'm going to have a little border going around that D. And when I come to where the D is connected, right, with the birth part, I'm actually just going to cut that flush out. Okay, so I have day right there. And then I'll just cut. And so you might have other happy birthday stamps, I'm sure you do. So you can see if this method would work with any of the stamps that you have. All right, but I'm not going to finish cutting because magic of television, I already have one. Okay, so I'll save those for later. So let's put this bee card together. So like I said, I put these 2 different, and now I can't decide which one I like better. So Happy Bee Day or Happy Bee Day. I might actually just do that one for now. But again, you can do however you want. So happy would go up here. Oh, in the bee, I cut out with the Playful Alphabet dies, which is very sad to say are retiring, as when I looked the other day they were still available, but those are on a while supplies last, and I love these letters, so I'm very sorry that they're leaving. But I used this, I did bring up. So I used just Bumblebee paper, and then I put some adhesive sheets on the back of the paper, and then I cut them out. So then I would just line the dies up on the paper this way, cut them out, and so I have the backing on here, and you'll see it makes it much easier, especially on this bumpy paper, to stick. So let's get going. Oh, I actually do have some mini dimensionals. You don't have mini ones, I just kind of cut edges. So let's see, this actually might fit right on there. So I'm going to pop up the words, and then I'm going to make flush the B. Now I could have actually cut the BEE out with foam sheets. I'd call it the right thing. Foam sheets, but I didn't. I kind of like the 2 dimensions of it. And so these just peel off like that, and then I don't need that part or that part, so I'll leave that there. And I'm going to, actually I should probably have done my E first, but I'm just going to follow. I should have centered the E. So you can make the B in, you know, if you want it straight across, I did it nice and straight. You can have it haphazard, or I just did it in kind of a curved. So I'm just going to copy what I did. Okay, but I'm going to lift this up because I didn't center that a little bit. There we go. All right, and the day is right here. So let's see, I don't think, and then a mini, and sometimes I take my regular dimensionals and I cut them in all different sizes just to fit. The tweezers help me place them. Happy B-Day. And then, actually, I'm gonna raise this guy. I meant to raise him and I didn't. Him or her. And I'll just use one regular, one honeycomb size. And what I could have done, which I didn't think of, I didn't bring it upstairs, but if you have Wink of Stella and you want a little bit of sparkle, you can just put a little Wink of Stella on the wings. I might go back and do that because I think that would look nice. So what I did on, I used some pearls, just regular pearls, and put that on there because I thought it needed a little more texture. And these ones I used, they're iridescent, they might be even called iridescent gems or something. And those both are in the current catalog and both will be in the next catalog. So let's, I don't want to get too fussy because it will take me a while. So I'm just going to copy what I did. And you can put them right on the holes, right over the holes. You know what, this one works better for these guys. And so I don't know if this happens to you. Sometimes my putty just kind of keeps growing and growing, growing. So I just kind of push it down. But the putty works really good on these little, these types of dots. Because they're hard to pick up. And you can use any kind of gems. You can leave it plain. But it kind of gives it a kind of little, and it kind of reminds me of honey a little bit. All right, we need a couple more. And I'm actually, for these ones, because I have the convex honeycomb, I'm actually putting them inside because I don't know if they would stick otherwise. All right, that's good. And then, oh, let's do that. Like I said, I had that extra skinny strip. Let's just throw that on the inside. Just to show you what you can do with your leftover pieces. have it go in the same direction. There we go. That way we're not wasting anything because that's pretty. Oh, that's very pretty. Okay. So there you go. So there is, I'll have to think of, I don't know what to call that, but a striped border. But I just wanted to show you how I did it with these strips. I just glued it all in alignment and then just cut them. And so it just makes nice, crisp interest. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to my channel, thank you. You can subscribe to my videos just by clicking the subscribe button. You can also visit all my social media platforms just by going to mailsomethingpretty.com/links. I put everything in one place. It's a little bit easier to say and a little bit easier to find everything. So I hope you join my mailing list and visit my blog and all my social media platforms. But again, I am Christine Josti, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Mail Something Pretty. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.